Hey,
So,
sorry about that. Always making sure that the sound works. So
yeah, we should be fine.
here we go. Right.
Excellent.
Oh,
Busy week?
yes, very busy with my real work. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but it's Friday tomorrow. We have our summer hours that started, so it's going to be a little easier. Oh, we have our
Excellent.
sorry if
Hey,
I
Darman.
Darmin and Vukasin. If I said, I'm not sure
Hey,
if I'm
yeah.
saying that, but he was there with us last week. Welcome, guys. Um, yeah, we have so obviously there's not
Yeah,
many.
it's evening on the East Coast.
Oh yeah, really. Where are you from, Vukasin? Let us know where you're from. I know that I think
Yeah.
Darmin's in Ohio, right? I think if I remember well,
I
or
had the Carolinas in my mind.
oh Carolina, yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I mean, we're finding out content to fill the show, even though there's nothing going on right now in terms of I guess in as we're building up towards Ahsoka. But we got a big announcement, like Dom was saying, with the video game that kind of came out of nowhere, right? So
Yeah, because at the beginning of the week, we were like scrambling to find, some topics for tonight's show. And all of a sudden, Heaven's Gate opened. And we had some uh, pretty interesting topic to talk about. So, yeah, it should be fun.
so
I really liked what we saw on the trailer and everything. So,
so I think the first thing we saw was from the Xbox kind of showcase that they had, and then after the Ubisoft shortly later, or the next day,
mm-hmm.
right? Their
Next day, yeah.
Ubisoft. So yeah, there's a lot. So we'll talk about that. But without any further ado, let's go on and remind everyone that Dominic Pace is going to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
We were lucky enough to for having him accept. I've known him for quite a while. It's ever since he showed up on the Mandalorian. Had a little bit of contact with him on Facebook, and so he's agreed to come and do an interview with us, like we've done with some of the previous guests. Be the first actor that we have,
Mm-hmm.
so it's very interesting. I've already spoken to him a little bit about what's going on now with him, so very excited to see how that's going to go. So look out for that the next few weeks. We have one with Simon Gauvin as well, who's our commanding officer, well, soon to be commanding officer for Dom as well,
Yeah.
for our garrison here in Quebec called La Garnison Forteresse Impériale. So this one will be a French interview though, so just a heads up. Um, for our French viewers, it'll give you a little break, like I said last week, on having
Mm-hmm.
to study English, but it'll be a French interview. And then we have also one coming up, which is we've had the interview, we've recorded it, so it's
Yeah.
just a matter of when we're gonna release it with Mickey Lee Bukowski. He's the detachment leader for the 501st Pathfinders. So for those who don't know, that's a detachment is part of the 501st. It's like a group of, in this case, it would be the Scout Troopers and Shore Troopers. So um, we'll let him explain that in the interview exactly what the detachment and everything, but should be coming up soon. It was a very fun interview for us to do. I think that very insightful, and it will be insightful for anyone who's
Yeah.
not extremely familiar with
Yeah.
how it works.
I loved every moment of this chat. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, great guy. So
And since you live in California, I got to go to the Redwood Forest
yeah,
for the 40th anniversary of the Return of the Jedi. So yeah, that was cool. So you were right, Eric. He's in Ohio. Norman's in Ohio, and Vukasin is in Serbia. So I think he's our first international viewer.
Yeah. We've had from France before, I think. Or am I wrong?
Yeah,
But
possible.
yeah. But hey, Vukasin, if you can, as long as you can stay, is great. We should be on for 45 minutes to an hour. So
Mm-hmm.
as long as if you want to participate, just go right on ahead. Just a reminder as well, Joe Minna interview is still up there. It's doing very well for us in terms of like views and everything like that. Such a great interview that we had with him.
Yeah.
Again, insightful. The process of sculpting. It was just fun. I know Dom, you really appreciated this one too.
Yeah, it was cool. It was special. I mean, Joe was kind enough to, you know, ask me to send one of my busts to his place. He got to sign it, and he told me like a couple of days ago that he already had shipped it back. So I should receive my bust like at some point next week. Is the Yoda half scale bust? It's my favorite half scale bust from him. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be a nice addition to my collection. I told him during the interview that there's a fire and I have to save like a statue. That's the one I'm saving at least for him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, I mean, if you want to know more about that, guys, go check out the interview. Dom gives a little bit of context behind why Yoda and favorite. It was his favorite bus, and so just check it out. It was a really kind of touching moment, and Joe was really cool about making sure he gets a signed copy of it. And
mm-hmm.
anyway, check it out. There's also the interview we have with Thomas Bina. Just a reminder as well. It was a first interview that we did, I think, right?
It was
And
our first, yeah.
yeah, and again, just so incredible. Anyone who likes props, replicas, anything like that, what do you call it, like
Well, the
restoring
name Regal
or
Robot speaks for itself.
yeah.
Everybody knows Regal Robot, so
So it's just if you haven't seen that one, definitely go check it out. And also, last but not least, I think we had the one with Rocco Tardamella. So another sculptor, very similar in terms of what Joe Mena does for
mm-hmm.
Diamond Select and other various companies. He did the same line of bust that they've kind of like shared duties on, I guess.
Yeah, two extremely gifted sculptors.
Yeah. So also another fun interview. It's funny because they're all different, but they're all so interesting and
Yeah,
just really a great conversation. We love doing these, and that it seems like based on the views, people enjoy watching them. So we have a few more lined up. Like I said, the one with Dominic Pace is just. I'm so excited to get it done to see,
mm-hmm.
to speak with someone who's been on set and can give us some insight about working with the likes of Dave Filoni and John Favreau and
Yeah.
whatnot. So really looking forward to that. But speaking of Disney and their schedule, we learned something else this week. Dom, I'll let
Mm-hmm.
you
So
announce or
we announced a few weeks ago, well, during the aftermath of the celebration in London, that there was going to be three upcoming movies. One that dated way back before the events of the Phantom Menace and the High Republic, the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie, and the one that was going to be set after the Rise of Skywalker with the return of Daisy Ridley. And there were some release date changes. So those are the new release dates. We don't know the exact date for the third one, but I expect them to change at least once or twice
again.
uh, before they release. Um, I'd be surprised if they release two Star Wars movies during the same year.
Yeah,
We all remember the
yeah, I think that's where you're
debacle
going.
with the Last Jedi and
Yeah.
Solo.
I feel like it's a
So
recipe for disaster, maybe some
mhm,
backlash. I'm assuming they're gonna have a TV show in there, so people are gonna get like
yeah,
Star Wars out. But I guess we'll see what happens. I would assume, like you said, that December 18th is probably going to become a 2027, and then December 27 will probably become a 2028 or
2028. Yeah,
something. So who knows?
And I mean, one movie per year is more than fine for me.
Yeah, and like it's. I think there was a whole bunch of other Marvel stuff that got reshuffled as well in this announcement
Yeah.
from Disney. The writer's strike obviously contributing to some of that. But I mean, let us know what you think. I mean, in terms of three movies that are coming out, I mean, we're talking about, about a year and a half, three movies within that span.
Hmm.
Is it too much, or will you take anything they give you? Let us know what you think. For us on our end, we were looking forward to seeing Giancarlo Esposito, but unfortunately, he canceled his appearance at the Montreal Comic Con. So just the message we got is due to a personal situation, private. I mean, obviously, no one's going to pry into that. Giancarlo can no
Hmm.
longer attend Montreal Comic Con. He hopes he can join us. So who knows, right? Does he have a job or something coming up? They're not obviously not going to divulge that information. But unfortunately for us, we're not going to see him here in Montreal. But we still have three other guests.
Three.
Yeah,
Yeah. From the Star Wars universe, we have Paul Sung Lee, we have Emily Swallow, and Michael Bean.
yeah.
So that's
No,
pretty cool.
hey, you know what? Compared to what we've had here in Montreal in the last few years, has been
Yeah.
dead, like absolutely dead. I think last year the highlight of the, or one of the main, like I think it was guests of honor, was the guy who did the voice for Super Mario or something.
Yeah.
Like I think that was one of the main guests. So like when you, and obviously no knock on him, but like that shouldn't be your guest of honor, right? Like your main guest, right? Like so
Hmm.
this
Exactly.
this year's pretty stacked. They just even announced Billy Boyd
Yeah.
and Sean Astin. So Sean
Sean
Astin for
Astin.
me, I mean, I just huge fan
That's
of
cool.
Rudy.
Hmm.
I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings, but Rudy Goonies, like that's
Goonies. Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely what I would be interested in seeing him for.
Stranger Things. More
Yeah,
recently.
yeah, but I mean, like where he's a star kind of thing. Like Rudy's gonna
Hmm.
be. It's hard for me to watch that movie and not even cry. Like it was so good.
Do
So
you remember Toy Soldier?
yeah, amazing
That
movie.
was fun. I
Yeah,
love that movie.
I love that movie. I to this day I make that comment when he goes in the kitchen and he
Yeah,
goes
yeah, pans
yeah, pots and
and
pans, and
pots and
the guy goes
pans.
pots and pans, what's pots and pans, and then he goes, well, I gotta
Bing.
clean this shit. Like it was so good. But yeah, he was really good in that movie. It's funny. I always found he had a little bit of Michael J. Fox in him. Not as humorous, but like that
Hmm.
little quick kind of like springy kid that like you felt like he
Yeah,
can do it all. But and I really liked him. There's also, I mean, we have guests from Smallville, Star Wars, and I'm pretty sure there's a Harry Potter in there somewhere. They just started announcing some of the rustlers and stuff like that.
yeah.
So
The Arrowverse as well.
yeah, so it's shaping up to be a much better con for us in Montreal, and I mean we'll obviously be attending. I'm going to be there all weekend, so if there's anyone in the area, um, and you see us, then come say hello
Yeah,
for
I'll
sure.
be there on Sunday. So, and
Um,
who knows? If I'm lucky, it might be
in
my
uniform,
first official
yeah.
trip as a member of the 501st. So, to be continued.
So we also have this. We were a little late on the group to post it, but if you guys have any memes you guys want to send in on the group, feel free. This is the one that I thought was pretty funny this week, and I thought it embodied the whole Clone Wars, I guess,
Love and
series
hate
in a
relation.
nutshell. Yeah, but even then, love and hates. It's the hate without even giving it the love, right?
That's it.
So it was a funny meme, and I thought I'd just like, bring it up because I think I was the same way. Because you look at the Clone Wars, the animated series. We've spoken about this. I don't know how many times, and the fact that just make it through the first two seasons, and then
Hmm.
like that bird, give it a little bit of a taste, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, and it ends up being truly one of the great series that are out there. So
Yeah, it's like a kid, who says that he doesn't like a certain meal, but he never tried it
yeah,
before. So, give it a shot. I'm pretty sure you'll like it.
same thing with the Rebels. We spoke about it last week. If you haven't watched that, make sure if you have a chance to get on that before Ahsoka comes out in
And
August.
now that it's all out, I mean, you can binge watch it in like a couple of weeks and
It's
you'll be
it's
all
another
set
one that's a
for.
little tough at first. Just like any series, learning the
Yeah,
characters and everything like that. It's very it's a little bit more childish at the beginning, but it gets darker with time. I just think that there was season two finale with Darth Vader and Darth Maul and all that. Uh,
yeah, and the Grand Inquisitor, is that season 1 or season 2?
Grand Inquisitor season one. I know he's in that one.
That finale is pretty cool.
Yeah. But
So
that episode with it was the first time I think that Ahsoka saw uh, Vader,
yeah,
and so
that
yeah,
Anakin slash Vader is alive.
yeah.
So
So great moment there.
yeah,
Um,
and all the Darth Maul moments as well are pretty epic in
yeah,
that series.
for sure.
And you'll be
Um,
able to count the fingers of the eight brother,
the what?
the fingers
Oh
of the
yeah,
eight
yeah,
brother that I
exactly.
was speaking about last week.
Last week, yeah. So let's move on to again the big news from this week. Super
Hmm.
excited. We're gonna try our best to see if we can't get in touch with Ubisoft to try to
Because
get
that studio is based in Montreal,
yeah.
the
So
headquarters.
yeah, so there's multiple offices, and I know a few people that work there. I mean, I don't think that they can help, but we're gonna try to do whatever we can to help promote this, and
Hmm.
if we can get like a trial copy to do an early review or anything like that. But we're excited about this game, and for anyone that doesn't really know what it is, it's our first open world um, game that they're gonna have, and not counting Lego Star Wars, because someone made a
Hmm.
joke about that. I don't know if you saw it, but they're like, oh, the first open world. Then someone goes, wait a minute, and you showed Lego Star Wars. He goes, I thought this was. It's true, it is,
Yeah.
but this is really like so. Anyone who's into your kind of like Grand Theft Auto to an extent, obviously it's
Hmm.
not that it's I don't think it's as mature, but anyone who's into that is definitely gonna be interested in this game. And took a few screenshots there, some of the credits, and if anyone can recognize or if anyone knows what that card game is on the table, we'd love to hear what your guess is. But I don't know if there's anything else on there. It's like credits
Well, it's
or
it's just about a deck,
yeah.
and we have the dice. Why do I always put an S at dices? I don't know. It's die and dice, right?
Uh, yeah. I don't know. One die, two dice.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that's
that's
what
it.
it is.
Yeah. So we have the dice, and we have like the card, the data card. So like the one they gave her to,
And
and like
here,
the one you can see next to my head.
showing here like the just some of the snapshot. This is from, so if anyone hasn't seen it, there's a 10-minute video of gameplay
Yeah.
that you can go check out, either Ubisoft, Star Wars, whatever. I mean, Lucas Games or whatever. It's all over the place. You can't miss it. Just Google Star Wars Outlaws gameplay, and you're gonna get the whole 10-minute video. So we highlighted a couple things that we've noticed. I've played my share of games like this, and you can see here like the kind of like action of takedown is there. So you got your kind of stealth, and keep in mind, I think this is the same company that made the game, like the Splinter
Rainbow
Cells,
Six.
and
Not Splinter Cell.
yeah, well, yeah, from this Splinter Cells, I think is a license of Rainbow Six, and then you have also like your Assassin's Creed and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So other games that are kind of, I think Splinter Cell is a little bit more linear, obviously, but you have your usual, and this is common in every game now, right? You're kind of like, you can usually pick, well, do
Snake.
I want to just try and kill everyone, or do I want to sneak my way out? That's one of them. You can use this. Oh, I can't remember the name of her pet. Is it
Oh yeah,
Nyx? Nyx or
I think it
something?
is. Yeah.
So and her name is Kay Vess, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I remember well, yeah. So you're
Yep.
playing as a character Kay Vess, who's like a scoundrel, or I don't know how you want to call it, but
Yeah, scoundrel fits the bill.
yeah. So hold on. Actually, you know what? I forgot that I had the description of what I wanted
Huh.
to call, but now I completely forgot what it was. Hold on. Somewhere here. No, I guess I forgot. But I basically had a description of what the
The game
premise.
is
Yeah, the premise of
okay.
the game was, and I don't have it anymore. Unfortunately, I had a
Well,
link and
basically,
everything.
the main character, has to find her way or to find her own voice in the galaxy, and she used some weird methods to get to what she wants to be, but she makes some contracts for the Empire, for some smugglers and some other scoundrels.
Here,
But
I got it here. So set
all right.
between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So it's a very interesting point in time in the
Mm-hmm.
timeline. Star Wars Outlaws follows protagonist Kay Vess, voiced by actress Humberly Gonzalez, and her companions. Nyx, a cute creature belonging to the Mercal species.
First time I ever see
Yeah,
that name.
and a cloaked droid named Andy. Cloaked droid. Is that is that the official name of that droid?
No, no, no. Because of the
His
the
jacket.
jacket, yes,
Oh.
yeah,
Named ND5 as they embark on a grand heist. Massive, which is a company who's developed, is describes it as a third-person adventure as an original scoundrel story featuring vast environments, seamless land-to-space vessel, and you have to check that out in the trailer and the gameplay,
yeah.
and a dynamic wanted system that requires a player to evade capture. So ends up being a little, like I said, a little bit of a Grand Theft Auto open world, but I mean, not again, not as violent and crazy as Grand Theft Auto. A couple shots here to show like she's climbing up on stuff. It's really not like your Survivor where you have like a, like the, I guess, Uncharted Tomb Raider kind of
Mm-hmm.
puzzle of like, okay, well, how do I, do this and switch this? As far as I can tell, there's not going to be any of that kind of stuff. Like if I turn this rock and put this boulder here, I'll be able to escape, which is a little bit of a welcoming.
Yeah. Well, who
Um,
knows what kind of missions we're gonna have to complete?
yeah. So here there's a ship. I'll let Dom talk about that yellow.
Yeah, well, that's a mining guild fight fighter. So we're going back to Rebels. If you have watched the series, we see quite a few of those um, during the episodes where Ezra becomes friends with the Purgils, the famous space whales we saw in Mandalorian season 3, where we saw only their shadows in hyperspace. But we get to learn a lot more about those creatures in the Rebel series, and they end up playing a huge role in the finale and in Grand Admiral Thrawn's fate. So I assume that is why they've begun introducing them to the live action universe. But yeah, that yellow tie is a mining guild tie fighter, so
If you see
it's
there, it
pretty
could
cool
be
to.
wrong. I'd have to go look, but you can see like it's kind of targeting his shoulder. In terms of her blaster. There's no doubt in this trailer who shot first, by the way. And this is like when she's in battle mode, you can see there's like a list of actions. You can kind of slow things down from what I could see, and stun, focus, blaster. So it's got a little bit of like, I guess, an RPG kind of aspect to it where you can choose what
Yeah,
you want to do. I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy game had a little bit of that to it as well. And then we see this, she escapes that world, that kind of like, I guess, port or whatever you just saw her in, and just jumps on a speeder. And it shows you the aspect of, basically go on the ride or speeder or vehicle and just go where you want.
I'm gonna
Gives,
be curious to see if it's as open as in GTA.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
in the trailer there's like some sort of pursuit,
yeah.
but she stays on the road and she goes all the way back to like the little port or the little hub uh, to complete her mission. But I don't know if she could have gone like total left or right turn and
Well,
get in the desert and see if
one thing I don't remember seeing is like someone like going to a map, like you would do in a game, like go look at your map and
Mm-hmm.
then you would see how vast it is. So that's not something that we necessarily saw. This is like kind of like a battle that you can. What she was on the speeder and she was kind of like
Yeah.
choosing what she wanted to do to each. So like kind of like prepping again, like an RPG kind
Mm-hmm.
of style where like do this to him, and then you let the actions act themselves out, which was kind of different but interesting. Like if you set it up properly, you can have a cool action sequence that follows. But something new, obviously not something we have in Fallen Order or Survivor, but welcome change, I guess. Again, just to keep things different, because at first it's
Yeah.
very easy to just assume it looks like another Jedi Survivor, but what my impression is, there's no chance that this person is force sensitive, which is
Nope. I don't
also
think so.
another welcoming aspect to this game. And it's funny, we were doing these screenshots yesterday. We thought this kind of area looked a little bit like Batu, and then all of a sudden, Dom noticed something in the
Yeah,
back
that
there.
ship in the upper left corner, it looks pretty much exactly like the one that is on top of docking bay 7. Um, Nico would have been able to tell me the name of that guy who that's basically a food truck, and he goes from planet to planet, and he brings food to docking bay 7, and all those containers. I mean, for those who watch the we're going to Disney World podcast, we explained that we see number 77 on the left container and 83, which stands for the release year of A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, and the one in the middle that is visible from inside has 80 on it for Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, that's a pretty cool ship. So
I'm trying to see if I
yeah,
could
maybe you
find it.
have the name of the guy. Yeah,
I
in the
have it in
book.
that book here. The land port. Is that what the?
I guess it would be like Docking Bay 7 or
Hmm. Yeah,
Bronto Roasters,
not gonna go too crazy
stuff
with it,
like
but
that.
yeah, it's the market. Docking Bay 7 104. Let's see. Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
there it is.
Oh, Arabesh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna learn that, I guess, before we go. See if 107, if we'll get our quick answer in a quick guidebook. The rotating guest chef serving at Docking Bay 7 Food and Cargo during my most recent visit was none other than Strano Cookie Tugs.
Cookie, yeah, that's it.
So there you go. Wow, this book, first time it's come in handy.
Arabic to the
Recommended,
rescue.
recommended by Nico Crank.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that. I'm also reading the Black Spire book at the same time. So this is the cloaked droid, I guess. Where have we
Yeah,
seen this guy before? This kind of droid.
yeah, we saw them in the Clone Wars numerous times. I called them the little ninja droids because they're pretty agile and pretty effective in what they do, contrary to B1 droids. So yeah, it's a pretty cool companion. He has a demeanor. Oh, he
He's
is
got a
acting
yeah,
all
he's got a
cool.
big personality to it. Like he's
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to
Big
say
guy,
like
big tough guy.
yeah, it's definitely not like a objection based kind of like this is my job. Like he's really got a personality of his own, kind of like um uh, geez, drawing a blank, the from Rogue One, and also the one from Solo. Those the droids that they had that just seemed like their own kind of very sassy kind of
Yeah, yeah,
personality,
yeah. The,
right?
the
So
security droid. Yeah,
yeah. Um, this I don't remember what her name was. I think I had written it down somewhere, but
but
she
she gave us some
Sid,
Sid vibes.
yeah,
Yeah.
seems to be like the same kind of like underground boss or
Mm-hmm.
some sort. And then it was very interesting here. So again, this looks like they'll have a system, and typically what these do is that the choices you make will affect the outcome of your story and
Mm-hmm.
relationship and something like that. So in this case, she had bribe or do not bribe.
She
Um,
decides not to bribe, and then
there was an
she
officer there
gets.
too, right? An imperial officer that we saw. I
Yeah,
guess I missed that shot,
the
but
bribe thing was for the imperial officers, so she
yeah,
could have given some part of her credits that she collected for her mission.
Yeah.
just to stay off the Empire's radar. But she decided not to.
And this started
And
flashing on the screen, so it's got that again
seconds later, yeah.
that Grand Theft Auto vibe of like where all of a sudden now you're wanted by the cops, and your meter can fill up on how badly you're looked for. I would assume that this goes away after a while, and I'm not sure exactly how it works, but again, you can see the buildings back there. Reminds me more of Survivor than Batu in a
Mm-hmm.
way, but really hoping it's not that planet.
Kobo vibes.
Yeah. Spent enough time on Kobo. I'm still there trying to finish it occasionally. And this is what they were talking about, the like almost seamless transition. She goes in her ship and basically takes off into space, and you can have like space battles. Not as like you said, it's not as crazy as the
Squadrons game.
Squadron, yeah, that we just got a few years ago, but it's fun. I guess you can go up there and have space battles if you want. I'm sure you can. There's more than there's probably a map and quests and stuff like that you can do, but again, the
Mm-hmm.
transition from the ground to the space was pretty awesome. So
Yeah. It takes like about 5 seconds. You go through clouds and boom,
yeah,
you're in space. So yeah.
and this is obviously
Hyperspace.
yeah. So just took a
I was
short.
telling Eric that that ship reminds me a little bit of the ship we saw in the sequels, the one that Ray's parent took off. So,
Yeah,
but it's
just
not the same
yeah,
type
it's
of ship, but
definitely
it got some
bigger, but
vibes.
yeah. And following and whenever you get to a new planet, a quest is completed. They're
Yeah,
always showing you where you're arriving, showing that you've finished the objective. So pretty cool. Like it's keeping you up to date on what's going on and what your statuses are. But I think we saw this. Akiva.
Akiva orbit. So I can't remember that planet from any big media stuff. Perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe it came out in a book.
If you don't remember it, I don't remember. That's for sure. But I mean, it's fun to like you got that kind of Star Wars feel where like when they're showing you a new
Yeah.
planet or something, it comes up and tells you that in the same kind of format that they typically do in the show. So I took a shot of this with the caption because this is where do we go next, and then she says anywhere we want, and it basically I think it was the way for the developers to kind of show us this that it is
It sums up the game,
completely
right?
open world. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you want to go to a different galaxy, planet, whatever. So who knows how big this is? That's where I'm curious. I would have liked someone to like switch
Mm-hmm.
over to a map just so I could see the
How many
size.
planets there are going to be, right?
Yeah. I don't remember if we saw in the video how she chose her planet, but it's anyway. It's going to be interesting to see just how big this game is going to be, and for anyone who has a PC or even a PS5, like how much space it's going to take on your hard drive. So
Oh boy.
yeah, that could be quite interesting. And I think when it came to these shots, it was more of like at the end. I think there's about a minute of just like a compilation of what's going on. This planet
It's probably Tatooine.
seems to be Tatooine. Yeah. I mean, it could have been Jeddah, but Jeddah would be a little bit more orangey. And this also,
Yeah,
like, if you
and
look at the
at that time,
buildings,
Jedi is half destroyed.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, it's true. So there's no way. But the buildings definitely look like it's Tatooine.
Yeah.
The architecture there, obviously going face to face with an ATST. This one, Dom, what's your guess on this planet?
Yeah. My guess was Kijimi. It had the vibes of the planet we saw in
Rise of
Rise of
Skywalker.
Skywalker.
The little
Yeah, all of
snow
Babu
and
Frick. Yeah.
yeah. So hey, you know what? It's not impossible. We'll see him. So it could be cool to
Yeah.
encounter them there.
You'll see him
Um,
is famous. Hey, hey.
or maybe a species, or I'm not sure. I mean, but he was alone there. He's not like in Mando, right? When he was with a group or anything. But
No,
I'm
that's it.
not sure about age and stuff like that for that species, but not
Yeah,
impossible.
those incidents pretty long, so
Yeah.
he could be alive.
Okay.
And if I'm doing the math real quick, perhaps I'm gonna see like a 4 years old Paul Diamond who lived there.
Already at a young age, running spice
Yeah,
and
trying to steal pockets of K.
hey, you never know. And this.
Hey, now that you have your book, what does that mean? The Orbish at the top.
Jeez, all right. Now I gotta go find that page though again. But how about you tell us what you think this planet is while I look for my translator.
Yeah, well, it adds some Kobo Batu vibes. I mean, Batu would be cool to explore. I mean, how much lore could they add to the World of Galaxy's
Were there
Edge
trees though?
with that? Yeah, I think there are.
There were.
Yeah,
Trying to see if there was like vegetation on Batu, not Batu on.
Kobo.
You said this is Batu or I thought you said.
But, well, it could be
I'm
both. It
confusing
could
it
be
with
Batu or
Jakku.
Kobo.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this is. First letter is a J,
Okay.
followed with a. What the heck is that? That looks like a K, but. Oh, it's an A. Oh,
Okay. J
G.
A Jag.
What's that kind of like an N?
It's like an N. Yeah.
So JAGN. Downwards arrow is
It's a
T.
T, I think. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. And then back to the same letter.
Another A.
I don't know about that.
Jangta.
Jangta? I don't know.
Hmm.
Probably a character, some a bar. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's put up on a ship, so I guess that ship is not in use anymore. But moving along, it's got that feel of the underground of maybe
Kafrine.
Coruscant. Yeah,
Or Coruscant, yeah.
yeah.
Could be Wings of Kafrine or
Oh yeah, you
lower
were saying.
levels of Coruscant.
Yeah, from you were saying from Rogue One too, right? Like
Yeah,
yeah,
the little city we see at the beginning of Rogue One. So
yeah. The Beast is there though. That's the only thing that's throwing me off from Coruscant. I'm not sure
hmm
that like how much. I don't remember seeing too much wildlife like that on Coruscant, even in the underground. So, but again, they're just
aside
traveling.
from that famous the Beast we saw in in the Bad Batch and in a few episodes of the Clone Wars.
Yeah. So then again, just more screenshots of like they're showing like
Yeah,
what's
Imperial Base
yeah.
trying to sneak out or in.
And this is Humberly, which is
Humberly.
a name I'm not extremely familiar with. Humberly Gonzalez. She's the one that voices Kay Vess. So on top of the trailer and the 10-minute gameplay that we have, there's also like about a 4-minute kind of like video you can have with I guess featuring Humberly Gonzalez and her voiceover
hmm
and the things she had to do and for the game. So another interesting video for anyone who's interested in checking that out.
Yeah,
Uh,
motion capture
yeah,
stuff.
so the motion capture I mean, technology is just beyond.
Insane.
Yeah, so if you want to go check that video out, it's also pretty cool. And also, extra little things that they showed. So obviously, mentioning that the timeline is between Empire
hmm
and
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. So obviously Han is in this state during that period of time,
Yep.
and
And look
this
who's waiting for him.
is such a cool kind of pictures. A lot of questions as to why Jabba's out there on his kind of like I don't know what that is, right? That
Well,
he's kind of
well
sitting on.
that's his throne, or floating throne, because we see the little hookah and the frog bowl.
So when you say throne, and that's what I'm curious about because obviously I guess it moves up, right? In Return of the Jedi at one point when they want to go look at what's going on with the Rancor
With the
and Luke.
Rancor, yeah.
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 So is it floating or like exactly how does it work? But like it seems a little weird the way that I'm looking at it there.
hmm
But anyway, we've seen him walk around in the prequels. Well, walk around,
Yeah.
slither around, I guess.
Yeah.
So very curious to see what this is. But I guess we're gonna get to see the delivery of Han Solo to Jabba, which could be interesting.
So
Which
does
what
that mean we're
is
gonna see Boba Fett?
exactly? That's where I was gonna go with that. I mean,
Hmm.
he's got to be in there. And we're talking about scoundrels and stuff like that. So, very curious to see what's gonna happen with that. But
And we're not allowed to see sexually explicit images, but that's Jabba the Hutt having an orgasm seeing Solo in the carbonite.
uh, but you know what? This basically almost confirms Tatooine, right?
Yeah,
So I mean that's what it
basically
is.
see the
That's where
twin
this
suns.
image is for sure. But I guess it would make sense
Mm-hmm.
that she's on there and maybe encounters it or something. And there's the her playing the
Another picture
game.
with the Sabak deck, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to see if anyone was going to guess it, but so this is you said this looks like because I have the game, but I have the retail version that they made. You know, the Toys R Us kind of version. This looks a lot
Okay,
more like what I think
the
you were
Galaxy's
saying.
Edge version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to take a few pictures last night, but I ran out of time. But yeah, it looks pretty much the same.
this is
And
a
that guy.
character.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have a little bit of maybe a guess as who it could be.
Yeah, it's
His
theory.
name, yeah, and his name was not
And
that. So I forget what his name was, but
yeah, that is only based on the Jedi Knight games. I think he looks a lot like Kyle Katarn, the Jedi we or the character we play in that series. That little shoulder armor we see, the beige shirt. It looks like him. I don't think it's gonna be him.
it could be, they're scoundrels, right? So maybe he's hiding his identity.
Yeah,
We'll see. We'll see what it is. But yeah,
a mix
interesting.
of that and little figure from
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Maybe he's got some kind of weird business he's running there, but
Mm-hmm.
let's not go ahead. And, Rancor, which is still giving me nightmares to this day. So if anyone,
Mm.
I don't know if anyone's played Survivor, but my goodness, if you go back to, I think it's Coruscant, you can go back to once you finish the game and you unlock something that you weren't able to unlock originally. Um, there's like these kind of like um, little purple clouds, and they give you these kind of battles. And really, the only thing you get out of it is like kind of like skill points. But one of
Mm-hmm.
them, because the Rancor is extremely tough to beat, unless you're playing story mode, but he's tough to beat even in the regular mode. But that challenge gives you two Rancors. Man, I
Wow.
must have tried doing it. I don't know how many times. I was getting so frustrated. If he grabs you, you're dead. Like it's not even close. Like if he grabs you, you're
Okay,
the
no
game's
escape.
over. Yeah, like
Okay.
he eats you. So like the minute
Hmm.
you're grabbed, so if you can be very close to killing both, if you get grabbed, you're done. Super frustrating. So I have nightmares to this day about this Rancor. But what you pointed out is that it looks like he's in Jabba's or his
Palace.
Jabba's palace. Like so, I would assume it's the same one that we saw in Return of the Jedi. So what I mean at this point, if we're gonna make theories, she probably encounters Jabba. He probably throws her down there. You probably have to escape. Naturally, not killing it because Luke's the one that's ultimately gonna kill it.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that we're gonna have that kind of a playthrough. So unless what was your guess on this? Because we ended up
Yeah,
seeing one
my
last
theory is
character.
Cantabite.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cantabite. As the vibe, we see the sea at the horizon,
Mm, the
but
mountains.
yeah, luxurious buildings, stuff like that, and that's Howard Stark from Game of Thrones.
What we can only assume is the main villain, I guess, mobster or kingpin of the game, and who you're probably trying to steal from or do the heist from. So,
Yeah, because during the trailer, we hear the guy that I said that looked like Cal Katarn say to Kay, "If you can pull this off, you'll be like settled for life."
yeah,
And I think that is the owner of whatever she has to steal
kind of like an
in
Ocean's
the end
11
game.
kind of thing, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
who was it? The name of the actor, but so
Yeah,
who they
yeah,
were stealing
Andy
from his
Garcia.
Andy, yeah, they're trying to steal from his casino. So hey, who knows? Maybe it's something along those lines, right? So he has a big business. Again, it would be coincidentally with casinos and whatnot. So,
Yeah, it
um,
would fit the bill with the Kentobite and all the money that must be stored in some sort of vaults and stuff like that. So,
so tell us what you think. Are you excited about the game that's coming out? I
Yeah,
know I'm excited about it, but like, I mean, our viewers, if you've seen these videos, what were your thoughts? Go ahead and share them. But in your case, Dom, what did you think of
well,
this announcement?
personally, I think it looks awesome just to be able to, I have like 20 minutes free time. Okay, let's do a mission, and then you can stop. That's pretty cool. It's not like a huge project like Survivor can seem to be because uh, playing Survivor is like pretty long unless you take some bounties or stuff like that. But yeah, that's one aspect that I
Yeah,
like about that game.
so I'm sure you guys noticed we haven't really continued with the gameplays of Survivor. Doesn't mean we're not going to do it again, but honestly, like, I think we're a little bit late to the game. People
Hmm.
that by that point have either played it or have already watched walkthroughs. Again, for us is to try to have access to this stuff, like we have some of the Disney stuff early. It would be great for us to have this and also be able to plan a better way to do it. Be ready on launch day to have some gameplay. So we'll reassess our evaluation or approach, I guess, to gameplay. But
Yeah,
it was taking about an hour
someone
and a
even
half
recommend.
to
Yeah, someone even recommended that we should start like a Twitch channel and
yeah.
play it over there.
But it was taking
So
like
we'll
an hour
see.
and a half each time to kind of do one basic kind of mission. We had to go to a planet, and it took
Yeah.
even, and I was going through it quick. Like I was just
Hmm.
trying to like breeze through it and come back to the next, and it's a lot more. I don't want to say it's a lot more linear, but it is more linear in terms of a story where go here, go do this, go do this. You could
Absolutely.
do the side quest, but honestly, in Survivor, if you haven't unlocked most of the stuff that you would unlock doing the story, you can't go and do the side stuff anyway. So
Mm.
going through certain doors, opening certain things, you need to play through the game. So I don't know. We'll reassess our approach, but let us know what you think about this game and if you're excited. But on that note, there was another thing. It's I guess we alluded to talking about Batu and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I asked Dom to compile since we're going to Galaxy's Edge in 90 some days or whatever, what
Hmm.
his wish list was for when he's going to go there. So basically, I asked him when we go, what is it that you're going to have in your suitcase on the way back? That it's going to be
Or
your
what am I
go-to's,
gonna
right?
have to ship from my hotel to my home?
It's another one. This one though, this is the I'll let you kind of say what it is, but this is something that I think you could bring on the plane easily, right?
Yeah,
So
I could. Yeah.
yeah,
So by the time I go, the only Savvy's Workshop team that I won't be having is the protection and defense. And the reason is pretty simple. It's the saber I would have built for myself had I been a Jedi. So
okay,
those are the pieces that appeal me the most. So I had you make a peace and justice. Nico built a power and control. My cousin is going in August. She'll build me the elemental nature, and the protection and defense will be the final one. I saved the last one for my trip because it's my favorite one. I think those pieces with the gold and the silver, I like them a lot. So I'm not gonna spoil it and say which pieces I'm gonna select,
I was gonna ask.
but well, okay.
Answer this: is
Uh,
it gonna be one of those, or is it gonna be a mix of those?
okay, you see the one on the left?
Yeah.
Take the bottom sleeve
Okay.
and switch it with the bottom sleeve from the one on the right,
Okay.
and you have my saber.
So everything remains the same except for that.
Yeah, so all
Hmm.
everything on the left except from that uh, golden cross. I'm gonna have switched like
Hmm.
the copper one. So, but the copper one, you know what? I'm gonna have a smuggler send one to me because I want to have some extra pieces for changes
Yeah.
and for the review purposes. I think it's fun to show the viewers like a few different combination for the saber. So
And Dom's had me get on this kind of like trade post, whatever, like Galaxy's Edge kind
Galaxy's
of.
Edge Trading Post, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
So
group
and
of
I've
people.
noticed that it's twice now that I see people sell the empty hilt, right? Like where you can
Yeah,
build your own. So if you do have the extra pieces, you could kind of like Frankenstein yourself something together, and so
I
there's
already
definitely
own an extra hilt.
Yeah, like a
So
basic hilt.
I
And
have built one with extra pieces that I have. It's right next to my computer. Uh, but yeah, it's fun to mix and match them, and make like a custom one. Uh, I'm gonna purchase a few pieces for the elemental nature as well, so I'll be able to make a pretty fun Frankenstein lightsaber. So it should be cool.
so what's next on your list? So you said there's something with the. This is not a set you can buy, right? These are two different sets. I think is what you were
Yeah, that's
telling me.
it.
Okay.
So the one on the left I already have. It's called a spork, combine spoon and fork.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty basic. Um, and they used to have them at Docking Bay 7. You could eat with those sporks. And they had to remove them because people were stealing them. Can you imagine?
Yes, I
So,
could imagine, because I
yeah.
would have probably wanted to steal one too. uh,
So, like a few months later, they released them in that little packaging
mhm.
that reads Spork. I won't have you take out your book.
Okay.
And yeah, it was pretty cool. And Nico bought one too, and we thought it was really fun. And like a month ago, I saw that they released like a whole cover. Is that how we call it? Yeah, it's the three, the spoon, the knife, and the fork. It's I
Like a
think it's a cover. That's
cutlery
how we
set.
saw it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And that little pouch that looks a lot like the one on the left.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool, and it's a fun artifact
So
to have.
it's funny because I was torn before knowing that I was gonna end up going. I actually wanted to buy those for myself,
Mm-hmm.
because uh, I. So this is what I told Tom I was gonna kind of rant about. I absolutely and a lot of people agree. I'm sure. I hate cardboard and wooden cutlery when you go out to
Mm-hmm.
a restaurant now, like a
Me
food
too.
court, or you order or whatever, like a Uber, you get cardboard or wooden cutlery. I cannot for the life of me stand the taste of wood in my mouth when I'm using a fork,
Yeah.
and the dignity of the fork usually is like gets a little warped. The cardboard straws, all this stuff, I can't take it.
Oh,
And
the straws are terrible.
the knives, they can't cut anything, and they're shaped like that, the knives, and like you're supposed to get a butter knife. Like I get like toast and peanut butter at like Tim Hortons, and they give you a knife that's anyway. It is the worst. So I want to get a set like this, so I'm always gonna have it on me when I go to lunch. If I go to work to the mall,
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it with me, and I'm gonna have my own cutlery, and I'm gonna be. The other thing I'm curious that I don't think that knife cuts very well, but I guess we'll see. There's no like kind of
Yeah, we'll
teeth
have
to
to
it,
see. Wait and see.
but still, just that fork, and in good Star Wars fashion, at least when I go somewhere, I don't have to deal with that mess of a cardboard. Even the straws, they have like it's sugar cane kind of stuff, like straws now that they have, or like it's not plastic, but they're biodegradable. That I can tolerate better. But the cardboard stuff, man, you put that in a drink, you can bend it literally like about 2 minutes after it breaks. It's
Yeah,
just the
it
worst.
decomposes like
Yeah.
in your
Oh
mouth.
my god, it's just the
It's
worst.
terrible.
So anyway, and this one is probably a little bit premature,
Yeah,
right? So
it could be like just wishful thinking,
yeah,
but that lightsaber was voted last fall by the fans. They wanted that saber to come out next, and we're still waiting for it.
it says
And with
Bad
the Ezra
Batch.
Bridger being, yeah, it says bad match because I don't think that the emitter is going to be unscrewable
Okay,
like we see in the Rebel series.
okay.
So
So
that's why
that
we still have the Caleb Doom instead of Kanan Jarrus name on the.
so that's a if it's out, but they're just that between the two sabers. That cutlery set won't cost you much, but those two sabers are.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm
let me go
gonna
to three
break the
sabers.
bank. Yeah, three sabers. Yeah, so that's one is like 160. I expect the other one to be 160. And first thing we know, on Life Day on November 17th, they're gonna release a limited edition box set, and I'll be screwed. Well, you know me. I'll buy it again.
Yeah,
I mean, I have double sets for the Skywalker. Same thing for the Ahsoka. The only one that I don't have in double is Battle of the Heroes, Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I think it's because they made the mistake of releasing the box set before the sabers are standalone.
Hmm. Did
They, they,
they
they
excuse my ignorance, I guess, but did they ever make that other uh lightsaber, that the one that's more like a square, like a handle, like
oh, like the stapling gun.
yeah.
They have made a toy version,
Okay.
plasticky, but not in the Legacy lightsaber
Okay.
series.
I would assume that probably be eventually uh
Yeah,
and probably
and
down the
perhaps
line.
they'll even make the Kanan Jarrus lightsaber, like the upgraded version,
Hmm.
in the future as well.
And this was an interesting one. I don't remember seeing that. Is this new? Because I don't remember seeing
Yeah,
this when
it's
I was.
pretty new. I think it
Okay.
was released maybe around May the 4th.
It's kind of been list today, and it's weird because it's Darth Vader. I don't know where they sell this, but Darth Vader and the regular stormtroopers there, so it's doesn't fit the
Yeah,
theme
from what
of
I
Batu.
know, no, that's it. So if it's not at the First Order stall,
I'd
which
be
I first thought
surprised.
it would be, it could be like on Disney Springs,
Yeah, that's what I'm
uh,
guessing. That's where they probably have it.
or Tatooine Traders near the Star Tour ride.
Oh yeah, yeah. You probably nailed it. I think that's probably where it
Hmm.
is. That store when you get out of the ride there. So
Yeah, I have the two versions of the First Order flags they released in the past. I have one for the Resistance, and that's like the fourth flag they will release, and
yeah, I think it'd be
I think
hard.
it's pretty neat.
I'm not sure how much it is, but I think it'd be hard for me not to bring that back with me too.
There's also a T-shirt with the same kind of colors design. It says uh, "Finish what they started,"
Oh
and
really?
it's like a mix of New First Order and Empire. So
Hmm.
it has pretty cool vibes. So I'm gonna probably gonna bring that back in my suitcase.
Well, that's a good hit
So
list for me. I mean, uh, I I mean, from that list personally, I think the flag and the I'm gonna have to be very careful with my spending. I mean, I already overdid
mhm.
it probably last time I'm there, so I can't imagine there's any big items I do. But I think that flag and the cutlery set is definitely on my list. I mean, the other ones are
I think
lightsabers, which I don't think I'd be buying. So
yeah, the flag I think is gonna be around the $45 mark,
mm.
and
Easily
the
easy to
cutlery is like
pack, which is fun. So
yeah,
yeah, so easy to bring
you can
back.
just throw away the little cardboard box it's gonna be in, and
Yeah,
just keep the flag, and
it's funny. Last time
you'll
I
be
went,
awesome.
I brought some. I had some clothes I flat out threw out when I was there, like old shirts and underwear and stuff
Okay.
that like not rotten old underwear, but like it was just stuff that like I'm like, well, if I throw out these six pieces of clothing, I'm gonna make more room, and that allowed me to bring back my Cal Kestis lightsaber.
Lightsaber,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I was able to put that in my luggage because I would just had like the carry on. So, but yeah, so just making me more excited to go now. So that those will be on my hit list for sure.
Yeah, and
But
I'm always monitoring what is being released, on Galaxy Edge, thanks to you you mentioned it earlier. So that's where I found all my generous smugglers who send me stuff from to East and West. And yeah, people are really nice over there. They're very supportive.
yeah,
And I made a few posts, when I was searching for the, which box set was it? Oh, it was the Kenobi Legacy lightsaber, the one with the three Kenobi sabers.
yeah,
Uh, I posted like a message like while I was searching for it, and someone came through for me. And
yeah.
yeah,
It's I've been tempted. I just have been holding back my because I'd be with the shipping, the conversion, the customs, and all that stuff. Right now, I'm just everything I'm doing is setting up for that trip and making sure that
gotcha. Yeah.
I'm not taking any of the family funds and stuff like that. I'm doing my little art on the side for extra cash. I sold a couple
Mm-hmm.
things, just trying to like make sure that I'm trying to offset it as best as I can. So, so hey, what's funny is we were worried about content, and here we are, exactly 1 hour later, and perfect timing on it. So, maybe before we go, you can give us a little bit of a reason why that poster is behind you.
Yeah. Pretty good observation there.
Yeah.
Well, this week I shot the Ahsoka Tano limited edition lightsaber box set, the one that was released actually in May 2022. Um, Honestly, I thought the Ahsoka series would have been released last fall, so it wouldn't have been like too much of a time between the moment of the release and the series. But it is what it is. I held on to it, and I'm going to release that at the end of August, about at the time the first episodes are going to be released. So yeah, I'm ahead a little bit for the filming, but tomorrow I have not one but two videos coming out on the channel. First, we're going to review the Sith Wayfinder, the one that's Eric unboxed, but I have the black one, so we took some picture last time Eric came by, and I'm going to explain to you guys how it works. And because it would have been too long to incorporate in that video all 68 quotes that the Kyber crystal can unlock with the Wayfinder, I also did, with the help of Nico, a video of all those quotes. So that video alone is 26 minutes. So you can imagine that if I had put that in the review of the Wayfinder, uh, I would have lost the interest of the ones that would not be interested with that kind of stuff. So you'll get the short, like the 10-minute version. I have a sample of all those different colors, one quote for each color. But if you want to see the whole thing, you'll be able to see it as soon as I
That'd
release
be interesting.
video number 2. Yeah.
I wonder if there's a video like that out there. I'm sure maybe there is, but like that would be
Probably.
definitely something interesting for anyone who doesn't intend on collecting them all and wants to hear all the different things that could be said. So
Yeah, so I had to be a little tricky because some of my crystal did not work with the Wayfinder,
hmm.
and thank God I had some artisanal kyber crystals with those characters in them, so I was able to put it out completely. So
Yeah,
it took a long while to film that video. I mean, as you can imagine, being quadriplegic, I was not handling the kyber crystals. Yes, my mom was like scanning all the crystals, each crystal.
it's so
Would
loud
do
too. That thing too, eh? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm sure she knows them all by heart by now. All right,
Almost, yeah.
so look out for that tomorrow. On our end, that's it for us. Dom, if you want to sign us off.
Yeah, so, well, as usual, thanks for watching. Hopefully, you stayed with us until the end, and we'll see you next week. We don't know what we're going to be talking about. We're playing by ear. So,
We're hoping something's gonna get announced of some sort, but if not, we'll
yeah,
fill it out. So
if not, we'll just cry for about an hour in front of the camera. It's like, we have nothing to talk about. So, thank you so much for watching. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we'll see you next Thursday. And until then, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.